All right, we are streaming live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another segment of Let's Talk About It. We're so excited because Let's Talk About It is all about live conversations. And so we're saying today, it can just excited because of this being Valentine's Day. So we're excited. We've got a lot of
It's
conversation.
Valentine's Day.
Yay, 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 yay.
Yay!
Happy Valentine to all of
Happy
you. As
Valentine's,
you can see,
everybody.
I have mine behind me. What did you say, Shawana?
I said Happy Valentine's Day,
Happy
everybody.
Valentine's to everybody. We don't own the rights to this music, so I want you to know that. Just kind of put that out there. But happy Valentine's Day. Let's talk about it today. It's going to be really, really exciting. We want to just bring some relevant stuff and just great things. And we're going to give some shout outs to someone that got engaged today. And in the comment, if you got engaged
Yay!
on Valentine, please put that in our comments. So we want you to share this. We want you to like it. We want you to also, you can host a watch party if you like. So let's get on with Let's Talk About It.
Happy Valentine's Day, Keandra. We're so happy for you.
Yay! Let's give a shout out to
Yay!
Keandra Johnson,
Woo!
who got engaged. She's
Kiana!
at the Ray on the River, and we're excited
Praise
for you,
God.
Keandra. I mean, it's always awesome when someone get engaged, and what a great day to get engaged is on Valentine's Day. So we say, congratulations, Keandra. There might be someone else that got engaged. If you want to share that in a comment, that's great. So today we're going to talk about a lot of different things and also want to share with you in terms of music. And there was a lot of love songs that was written during this time, and not only from the secular, also from Christianity part. And we just want you to see if you can name some of those that actually, some of the songs that we put out. I want you to name some of them. So we're going to get started, okay? And just kind of in the comments, just say, hey, I remember the song, I remember this, I remember that. And I know the artist to this song. So if you know the artist to the songs that I'm going to throw out there to you, then I want you to, be able to share that. But most of all, we want
This
to
will
talk
be
about
fun.
love and legacy. Love and legacy. How
All
they
right. I
two.
said this will be fun. Show us okay, what's the first song?
So the first song I think everybody knows about this. The first song is you ready? What's
Ready?
love got to do
Got
with
to
it?
do
How
with
about that?
it.
What's love got to do with it? Okay. Anybody? Put it in the comments. I don't even see this on here. I don't see it on Facebook. I don't see it on your page. I don't see it anywhere. Not even on Let's Talk About It. All right. So, what's love got to do with it? Who sang that song? And then we can talk a little bit about the reason why she made this song. What's love got to do with it? All right.
hmm
We got another one too. Just before, I'm going to give you about three. Okay. One more.
So what's love got to do with it? Who is it?
I don't know. Check in the comments. Okay. Let me see who. I don't want you to say. I want somebody else to say because we're going to talk deep about what's love got to do with it. Okay.
Oh,
I don't even see this showing up anywhere.
it's coming. I see what
Yeah.
happened. But it's all
So,
right. Let's keep going.
so what's love got to do with it? Bam.
What's love got to...
Who was that? Terry, we can't see who.
That was... You don't see me?
I see you. Yes.
Oh,
What's love got to
Tina,
do with it?
Tina
Tina Turner.
Turner.
Can
Of
you
course.
remember? Do you know why Tina wrote that song? And it was something. But I can imagine all that Tina went through. She wrote that song. What's love got to do with it? All of us can remember that. That is a song. I would say Tina is one that goes down in history. You're talking about Black history, Tina Turner, Black history.
Right.
Okay, this
Yes,
is the month of Black
absolutely.
history, Tina Turner,
Right.
Black history. All
Absolutely.
right, let's go with another one. Stop In the name of love. Come on, who did that?
Before you break
break my
my
heart.
soul.
Who was it?
The
Who was it?
Supremes.
Who?
Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Mom,
Diana
you remember you used to
Ross.
say that all the time in the house. We used to
Yeah.
wake up hearing, stop.
Legacy. Stop in the name of love. It's sure enough legacy. Diana Ross. wrote
Terry,
that one.
what did we used to try to pretend like we were the Supremes or
The Supremes.
Well, you know, I
Mhm.
remember when I was in school, high school, of course, you know, they used to say I looked like Diana Ross because I had the big eyes and all of that, you know. And so, of course, I was on one of the, what do they call them? Talent shows and saying
Mhm.
stop in the name of love. In fact, I really did want to be a singer. I really wanted to go to Detroit and become a singer, but that didn't happen. Things happen. But stop in the name of love. Again, Black history. Diana
Mhm.
Ross
oh
going
yeah,
down
she's a
in Black
trailblazer.
history. And remember this week,
Mhm.
Mary Wilson passed,
Mhm.
you know, on,
Yes, she
and she
did.
was one of them. So that was
Yes.
something that was really sad. But you know, these are great, you know, women that just sung their hearts out.
Mhm.
And it was all a lot of songs that they wrote was all about love of what
Love.
they were going through.
Mom, what was one of your favorite songs, with like Diana Ross and the Supremes outside of Stop in the Name of Love?
One of my favorite songs.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I like everything about her. And I think Stop in the Name of Love was one of my, you know, favorite songs. But I think it was Love, Don't Come Easy.
Oh,
Love, Don't Come Easy. That one I really
Mhm.
did love. Did I sound a little bit like Diana Ross?
oh,
So yeah,
Wow.
let's get on with it.
here you
Let's
got a
get on
favorite
with it.
love song?
Do we have any? We got to share, and hit more shares. Okay. So anything else? Let's go.
Terry, you got any favorite songs?
Man, I have a lot of favorite love songs. But my one that sticks out is Love by Music Soul Child, and also Trinity 357 remade it as well. I like that
Oh,
song. Love.
okay.
It's called Love.
Okay.
It's called Love.
By
Oh,
originally Music Soul Child. And then
All
Trinity
right.
357 redid it.
oh,
But it's so many love songs. I mean, it's a lot.
right. So many.
What's your
Those
favorite?
that are watching, y'all got any favorite love songs? Put them in the chat.
What's yours?
Yeah, let's talk about it. We want to talk about love and legacy because when you think about it, Diana Ross is leaving a phenomenal legacy. Tina
Yes,
Turner
she
is
is.
leaving a phenomenal legacy. And there was
Yes.
another song that, oh, you asked Shawana, what was hers?
Yeah, to be honest with you, like you, Terry, is so many of them out there. So I can't say I have a favorite one. In our day, it was more so like New Edition and
Oh.
all of those songs, Mr. Telephone Man and all those crazy little, teenage songs.
Yeah.
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 But
And I think Whitney Houston, she had some great
Oh man.
love songs, it's like
Yes,
so
she
many of
did.
them that so I don't have a favorite.
Another
I
great
think
one.
it was that time, during that time was where all my favorite ones came from.
well,
And I
well,
know I
one of-
like also Patti LaBelle. Somebody loves me back.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. That was a powerful love song. Somebody love me, baby.
so
Is that
so
the
let's
title of
talk.
it?
Huh?
Is that the title of it? Somebody loves me, baby.
Somebody loves me baby. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Diana Covington said the Supremes, Tina Turner, Patricia, she said, hello, everyone. Let us know what your favorite love song is.
Yes, let us know. Please let us know. We need you to join in, share this with someone. We are too excited. And let's talk about love and legacy.
I will always love you. That's one of
What?
them.
I will always
Oh,
love
okay.
you. Who said that? I
Okay.
will
Patricia
always.
Hart, Pat, our cousin, she said, mine is I will always love you. That's the
Yes.
Whitney
Okay.
Houston. Is that it?
All
Don't give me
right.
that.
Yes. Whitney
Yeah.
Houston. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that's the
Yes.
best one right there.
Okay. So what about some other songs that just kind of come to your mind in terms of love? But not only that, today being a great Valentine's Day, and I'm so excited. I got a Valentine gift. I got my flowers. I got this. Who do you think they came from? My children. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And delivered
Oh,
my dinner to me, a steak. Can you believe it? Filet mignon. I love it. I am so
oh,
excited. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
okay
yeah. Yeah, but it's all about love.
Mom, you've
It
been
is.
our Valentine all of our lives, so we can't help but, pass some love on to you because you were always our Valentine. I remember Valentine's Day, we would always get, little trick, little candies. You would always put stuff in our room, and I actually
Mhm.
find myself doing some of the same stuff today. Every Valentine's Day, I'm shopping, buying Valentine stuff, and making sure that it goes in everybody's room so that they'll have
Mhm.
some kind of little Valentine on
Yeah,
Valentine's Day. So
that's
I
important.
pass that
That
on.
is, but that's important. If somebody can share their favorite Valentine's gift or a place that they went, that was most was their favorite place. I
Mhm.
like to see some of those comments. What was the best, the most favorite and memorable Valentine's Day that you can remember? I love for people to share that in the comments. Your most memorable Valentine's, most memorable.
I have one, but Diana said "Loving You" by Minnie Riperton. That was
Ah,
her
Oh,
man, I
favorite.
hadn't thought about that one. That's
oh
a
my
good one.
goodness.
Wow.
Anybody else? That's good. Diana, you did good.
Oh yeah.
All
Minnie
right.
Riperton. Come on
Let's see.
Yeah.
I have,
That used to be
Carrie,
my
you have a
favorite.
favorite Valentine's Day? I have one, but I want you to go first.
Um, ooh, that's a
now.
good one.
Okay.
I can't think of last year was a good one. This year is a good one.
All right. So,
I
when
can share
thinking
my
about
favorite.
Valentine, think about it, Terry. Think about it.
I'm
When
thinking
I
thinking,
about
can
it.
share
Yeah.
my favorite. And anybody else that's watching us, let us know what your favorite one is. Mom, what's your favorite Valentine? What happened for you?
my favorite Valentine's. I
Favorite
think my
Valentine.
favorite Valentine's was when I'm trying to think if I was I don't
See, see,
let's see. I haven't
stuck you
thought
too.
about it. Because I just love Valentine's, so all of them are good for me. But I'm trying to think. I always get good gifts. Have I gone anywhere for Valentine's? No,
No.
I can't think of. That's hard for me to think too.
See,
Wow, my
it'll
favorite.
stump you.
I just hadn't thought about that. I
I
should have thought about that before I got on.
I
What
think
was
one
your
of my
favorite, Siobhan?
favorite one was when Ian and Zanoran, when they surprised us, Dana and me,
Oh.
Valentine's Day, and I'm trying to remember. I don't think we went out to dinner. I think they actually, but maybe we did go out to dinner, and they surprised us. So that was one, and that was a lot of fun. And another Valentine's Day was in college when Ian and one of his friends, Joe, they surprised me and Joe's girlfriend, and they actually cooked for us, and so we got like,
Hmm.
where I can remember even some of the food, that they cooked, and it was just so good. And then we had flowers and candy, but they surprised us, and that was back many many years ago. I think that was one that probably sticks in my brain more than anything because that was
Hmm.
the
The
first time
most
somebody.
memorable one.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
that was the first time somebody actually did anything like that for me, and so
Hmm.
that was probably my most memorable one. Let's
Okay.
see.
Anybody
Oh,
else
so
share?
They're sharing online. So Diana said she's talking about some songs that are her favorite. She said, Baby Love by the Supremes. I Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Oh, wow. I
She
should have been
said,
playing some of those.
I love you. Okay, so Pat, she said, I remember my dad always gave all his girls candy every Valentine's Day.
Wow. Now see that, now
Aw.
that right there is
Oh,
memorable.
sweet.
That's memorable. Wow. I
Yeah,
love that.
that is awesome.
Anybody else?
Mhm.
Oh, see, one thing about Valentine, it just transcends from you know, romance to family. It's just a combination
Mhm.
of it all. And it all is about love.
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
loving each other, loving someone. And
Right.
and parents began to teach their children that, because when you guys were small, you would get little cards and you would take them to school and you
Yes.
would give a
Right.
little card to your
With
friend and things like so that,
exactly.
just sharing that. I wonder how many people actually did that, or gave their
Uh-huh.
children cards, and they would take the Valentine. They couldn't wait to take the Valentine cards,
Tell them
or
about, yep.
the little box candy. What was the little box
Right.
candy?
Oh my gosh, those are my favorite. Little smart.
What are those?
Yeah.
Anyway, the little box candy,
Mhm.
you give them to the
Yeah.
children, they take them and give them to all their classmates. Those
Yeah.
are precious memories,
I still
Yeah.
did that at work when I was at work. I
Oh,
did
oh,
it.
I
I
would do
did it
that
every
too.
year. Every year.
I would do that too. I always would bring something. I don't care if it's a sucker or something,
Mhm.
and put it on someone's desk,
Somebody's
put it on
desk.
each one's
Mhm.
desk in the
This
office.
year
But
has to be
that's just
special.
sharing, that kind of love. I got a
Mhm.
great gift today. Um, One of my mentees are just one of my daughters in the Lord, I put it that way, brought me a little thing of banana pudding, which I
Oh,
love.
Oh.
Rose Felita
So your
brought my
dessert,
banana pudding for
look, your dessert
Valentine.
with
I've
your
been
dinner.
asking for it. So
you got
Got
that
your
dinner.
was
dinner,
precious. Just
dinner and
delivered it,
dessert.
called me and said, hey, I'm in your subdivision. I got something for you. I said, oh, wow, that's awesome. My banana pudding. I would share it with you guys, but it's just enough for
Oh,
me. So
Yeah,
thank
so you got
you.
your dinner and
yeah.
But
your
that's
and your
love.
dessert.
And then I have my dinner. I'll be eating that and a few. I wanted to just kind of pick out. So I didn't want to do it before we did this. So I will
Oh.
do that. Yeah. I
Yesterday,
got that.
Ian took me. It was Ian and the Murdochs and I. They took us out to dinner to Patsy's, and it was like crazy weather. But he was adamant that we were going out to dinner because I was like, "Are you sure? It's like this ice storm going on out here, and is the
Mhm.
weather okay?" But it held up enough for us to actually go out and just really have a nice dinner, just have some fun, and just relax and not think about anything, and just
Mhm.
really
Yeah.
enjoy that. He brought flowers home, and then the kids, they had, like I said, I it's the craziest thing. I went shopping and forgot all the stuff that I actually had been buying them along the way leading up to Valentine's Day. I kept bagging stuff and putting it in closets. And then when I finally pulled everything out, Lauren was like, Mom, you just overdid it this year. Because it was like everybody had double stuff.
Yeah,
Oh.
but you always overdo it, Shawana. So, nothing new.
So here's something that Diana gave her story. She said, early in my marriage to my husband, raising a family with 4 children, my husband stopped at the gas station and bought me a $2 rose. He said, Baby, I didn't have any money, but I wanted to get you something. The rose was
Oh.
very special to me. Oh my God. That's so awesome. That's so awesome.
Oh, here's a rose, Diana. I got one
Oh.
for you. Here's a rose.
I
That's
think
I
this
got a rose
sweet.
for Diana.
I think this year is especially tough, because just talking about the children and the stories, how they would go to school and pass out candies and get to have a little Valentine's Day party with their friends.
Mhm.
They
But
don't even get a
when you
chance
didn't
to
go to,
do that
yeah.
now. Yeah,
Mhm.
But you know what? The most precious thing for us this year, um, if we still have family that we
Mhm.
can share love, just just call them, just share love. If it's ever been a time for us to share love with those that surround us, it's now.
yeah,
Share that
Mhm.
love, because so many people have lost loved ones prior to this day. and
Yes.
you can imagine what they are feeling. So I just want to, just encourage, someone who lost a husband, someone who lost a mother, someone who lost a sister or a brother, co-worker, friends, family. I just want to encourage you today. This is your day, a love day, that we love you and we're sending our love out, to you. This is such a special time because when we talk about legacy and talk about love, talk about those who have actually impacted someone else's life in such a loving way. And that is what love and legacy is all about. It's what people will remember, that, you reached out, you loved them unconditionally. I think I wrote something on my Facebook that, love is unconditional. And it really is, because that's what the scriptures say, that Jesus loves us unconditionally. And so that's how we want to share love. And that's why it's so much fun. Love is joy. Love is bubbly. And it's so strange that, people can be in some kind of way. But if somebody walked up and gave them a rose, or someone, walked up and told them that they love them, it makes all the difference in the world. Everybody wants to be loved.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, why does everybody want to be loved? It's because God loves all of us.
And that was one of the greatest gifts in the Bible, that God loved us, and it's a fruit of the Spirit.
Wow, go Terry with the fruit. The fruit. Okay, so the fruit of the Spirit is love, and usually you attribute it with the heart. So this is Heart Month, Heart Health Month as well. And you know what? One of the things that I remember years ago when I was nursing, and I heard this about love, and what they said was that people who are suffering with different kind of diseases is because when people know that someone loved them, and when you have love in your heart, it does something for the heart. I believe that love, our heart has everything to do with love, and you have to love from your heart. Although people can say they love, but it's a difference when the love comes from the heart. You can feel that love when it comes from the heart.
I completely agree. I think it's something, it speaks volumes. To me, this day is one of those days of, forgiveness. Really, a lot of people are walk around with anger for whatever reason.
Bitterness, unforgiveness,
holding grudges.
It have no place in our heart.
It really doesn't. I mean, if anything, it makes you uptight, and just really just like you said, it messes with your psyche, your heart, and everything. And this is a day more than anything, to just, if there's someone that you're harboring unforgiveness, I mean, literally just, flat out forgive and release them. If anything, you're releasing yourself, but you got to release them, and walk in that forgiveness, and walk in true love, which only God can give that, because a lot of times, you won't be able to let it go unless you allow him to help you, people. I mean, we could have been bitter, all three of us, about some stuff that happened years and years and years ago
in the past.
But we look at us
I
now,
choose to love.
We've made a choice to love and forgive and let that go, so that we could love.
Yeah.
And
they say hate is too much of a burden to bear.
That's a powerful.
Yes, that's true. I wanted to get back to what Tina Turner, she wrote that song. And I remember using that song when I was doing parent education over in Atlanta with the parents that was living in the housing project. And I don't know, the Holy Spirit just kind of gave me that song, and because a lot of the women were going through a lot of things, and we're talking about what love got to do with it. And I asked the women when they got ready to graduate from their class, it must have been about 20. Shawana, you were pregnant, and you went that night to, I think it was at Pasco's, La Carousel, and they wanted to have a party. Now, this is when you talk about love. And the ladies were saying, because you've been so transparent with us about your relationships and, what you had to do and how you had to love in spite of, in order to get through things. And so they wanted to have a sock hop. And so we did the sock hop that night. And the first song that they wanted to play, and they played it over and over and over again. What's love got to do with it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they wanted to hear that because some women were in abusive relationships. And after
Oh,
going
wow.
through that session, they came out of that because they saw
Mhm.
that, that's not love.
Right.
Love is giving, and love is kind.
It is.
Love don't
That's right.
hurt. Love is very transparent, very open, and so that's love. And when you go through different things, you will find whether or not that was true love or that was infatuation. And remember, we had a lot of infatuation and then got into relationships, and then it really wasn't love. Okay,
Right, right.
love is kind, and love is not puffed up. Love doesn't conduct itself unseemly, but love is kind. And if you would notice, it lets you know that when people, for instance, when a woman gets an engagement ring, what does it bring? Joy. And love is joyful too. It'll bring joy when we love. Anybody in the comment?
No, not yet. We haven't asked them any questions or anything yet.
Okay.
But I agree. I
They
think
can share if they
Yeah.
want to share.
I think when it comes to love, though, I think it's one of those things that you don't really know how deep and how wide, that love is
Yeah.
with people, until you start going through something,
Mhm.
with them. And I don't know, I just think that love, you can tell when it's genuine, when it's authentic, when it's real. There's like you
Yes, thank
feel that connection. It's like breast to breast. You just truly feel that genuine, authentic love. It's like a sisterhood love, your brotherhood love.
Mhm.
I mean, these are people.
Mhm.
So good. Let's talk
Yeah.
about sisterhood love, brotherhood love. Yeah, that's a good one. Sisterhood love.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Sisterhood love is that I support you. Brotherhood love is the same.
yeah.
I think love is supporting each other.
Mhm.
What do y'all think?
Of course,
Yeah,
it
I
does.
agree. I think you're with a person. I mean, you're like, you got their back. Even to me, sisterhood love is, I don't even have to talk to you for a year.
Yeah,
But when we come back together,
Connect.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
yeah,
this
It's like we
connection that's
didn't
like,
miss a beat.
yeah, it's the
yeah,
craziest thing. That's when it's like you're joined together.
Mhm.
It's like Terry said, you come back and it's like you just picked up where you left off.
yeah,
Right.
That's when
yeah.
it's like that best friend, type of love.
Mhm.
I think sisterhood love is a powerful love because sometimes they take on, although they may not be your sisterhood, like Terry and I are close. Like if I guarantee you anything were to happen, although we may not talk every day, but the minute
Mhm.
something were to go down, you drop whatever you're doing to go take care of or do whatever you can to
Right.
help.
Yeah.
And
And brotherhood love, because
same
some of
thing.
us have friends and they're males.
Yeah.
And that's a love. It's and there's a difference, I think, when we talk about agape love, filial love, those kinds of love.
Oh, we have
And
some stuff in the chat. I
yeah,
had to go
okay,
to another page and I actually found another page. I have too many pages, I guess, open. So they're talking on the other pages. So Brandy
okay.
said, "Hey ladies, what does love have to do with it?" And Nikita said, "Oh, that's so sweet." Brianna says, "My favorite Valentine was when Dad would get me and my sisters flowers or our favorite candy. Or this year when at work we exchanged Valentines with one another, and I got 2 lotions and perfume. My husband got me some flowers, and my favorite chocolate cake this year was very sweet." And Joseph Ali says, "Yes." Brianna says, "I went to a Galentine." So that's when girls celebrate each other for the day
Oh
before
yeah.
Valentine's.
Okay.
So she went to a Galentine with her coworkers last night, and it was all love. We laughed and cried. It was just a bonding family time.
Yes.
I've
That's
heard about
powerful,
those.
Brianna.
What
Yeah, that's so
about
cool.
love and
Mhm.
legacy? So let's talk about legacy. What about legacy?
Well, we skipped over what's love got to do with it.
Oh, okay. Then go.
It's like, what does love have to do with it? Everything. Love has
Love.
everything to do with it. You can't love yourself. You can't love other people if
Mm-hmm.
you don't love God first. You know, you
Right.
because
Got
you
to.
turn it on and off like a faucet. And but when you genuinely love someone, love has everything to do with it. You
And
know,
it
so I
does.
know her saying that what does it have to do with it, but it has everything to do with it of how you treat other people and how you relate to other people.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Yeah, that's what I said earlier, that because love is so broad, and we remember we talked about love has everything to do with the essence of our life. It really
Mm-hmm.
does. And how we love people is how people would treat us. So we want to love with the God kind of love,
Yeah.
and that is that love people again. What this is what it have to do with it is unconditionally. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
not like us, and we have to love in spite of our differences and all of that. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what love has to do with it, is loving unconditionally in spite of what my views or what my feelings or whatever. I still have to love unconditionally. Okay.
Right.
We got a comment
Absolutely.
says you can't love someone else until you love yourself and respect yourself.
Ah, let's
You
go
have
there.
to. That's right.
Let's
You
go
have
there.
to.
Self love.
So important. Self-love. Mm.
Love yourself. And that's where, the Bible say, to love God, to love others. I mean, and then you love yourself. So in other words, we're putting people before ourselves. In other words, we will love people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where that love's come from. We got to
Right.
love God first. So, and then we can have love for ourselves. Man, you can't love someone if you hate yourself. that would be kind of hard.
That
You
would
you
be
hate
definitely
yourself,
hard.
right? You know,
That's
you
because
you
then you
gotta
don't
love,
the
you
way you treat
love,
yourself.
you gotta love yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then I love myself. I can love others. But then the
Right.
Bible tells us to love others. We gotta love others, love God. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Absolutely.
a great part about love. Now, have we all loved as we should? No,
No.
Nope.
we have not all been loving. We have not all loved the way we should love. But what I love about God, that He helps us when we want to be helped to get to that place of
Mm-hmm.
loving the way we need to love.
That's right.
And I think you said something that was very key as it relates to love. Is forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness is a part of love.
It is.
I forgive because I love,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so that's a part of it. I just love it.
And it goes back to what you said. You have to make a decision.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
sometimes people
intentional.
can
Love is
be,
intentional.
it is intentional because sometimes people could be so to where you feel like they just don't even deserve, your love because maybe they just like did the most craziest thing or just ugly or showed their true colors. And but
Mm-hmm.
you make a decision to love them despite them, despite how they treat you or mistreat you or whatever. But
Yeah.
you make a decision to love. So love is a choice that we have to make every day, with different people that we know or that we don't know.
You said something very key. You said that love is a choice, and it really is. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess for me, um, even, I mean, just there are phony loves.
Mhm.
Love in front of you, that's not love, because behind me, you don't love.
Right.
So it's a genuine love. It's about genuinely love. Um, how about uh, is jealousy a part of love?
Jealous?
No.
Well,
No.
No,
No.
no.
but I don't know because in the word God says that He's a jealous God.
He's a
You
jealous
know,
God.
He says He
Then,
and He
but
loves
will
us.
we be jealous of our brother or our sister?
No, so I just think it's the context in which you put
Yeah,
it. You know what I'm saying? Jealous,
absolutely.
so yeah, you can be jealous of maybe the time, that maybe you want to spend more time and you're jealous of just whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's a tough one, Mom. What are your thoughts? Because that's a hard one. I mean, only thing I can go back to is God says he's a jealous God, but he also loves us. But we're not supposed to be jealous of people or covet or of things. I mean, that's not what we're supposed to do. But
That's
we
not,
sometimes
that's, and what I was
have
saying
to
about that
like,
is true. That's not
yeah,
genuine love,
yes.
that we will be jealous of each other. I just sense that. But maybe someone in their comment might have something to say. What does that mean to you?
Gemma
Um,
says you wouldn't be able to love to your full, you wouldn't be able to fully love a person when you're operating in jealousy.
that's good. Who said that?
Brianna,
That's good. Very
It's
good,
real good.
Brianna. Yeah, that is so true. Well, so, you know, someone else said something.
yes. Derek says jealous and love can't come from the same place.
Ah,
It's
Talk
so
about
good.
that.
can't.
Can it
We
come from
need
the
to come on
same
here,
place?
'cause I need to ask him that question. God says he's a jealous God. I know we're not supposed to be jealous, and trust me, I'm not jealous. So I'm just posing the question. How do you
Right.
expect that?
I love it. Jealous and love cannot
Can't
come from
come
the
from the
same
same place.
place.
That's
Help
good.
us. I see, is that, that's Wally. Okay, so genuine love is a restoration love. It
Mhm.
helps to restore, because you can help restore people when they feel less love or they don't feel love. So we are supposed to be carriers of restoration love. Love people and restoring them, helping to restore them. And that's the kind of love that we should be displaying. It's the kind of love that is a restoration
Mhm.
love. It's a love that helps restore and help
Right.
build and not tear
Right.
down. Love
Right.
is, and it is kind. Well, what does that mean? What does kind mean?
I mean, it goes
Being
back,
kind, being nice to people.
yeah. Yeah, it goes back to the fruit of the spirit, like Terry was talking about earlier.
Hmm.
I guess I have an example of, not personally, but watching, for whatever reason, I don't know. I think I sent this to you guys this morning. Will Smith and Table Talk. He did this back in November with Aunt Ville.
Oh yeah, that was
They
good.
had this 30-year
Hmm.
dispute
I read
for
that.
a long time. And then they finally came together. They were about to have the 30-year Fresh Prince from Bel Air celebration. And he felt like he couldn't have moved forward with this 30-year celebration without acknowledging, owning, and working through the the issues that he and her that they had back 30 years ago when he was
That was
21
the
and
lady that played his mother.
his
Hmm.
aunt.
Yes.
So she was the one that
Hmm.
played his aunt for years, the dark skinned one, and
Bill.
then
Oh
she,
yeah, okay. I'm Bill. I'm Bill.
right.
Hmm.
So what he did though was they came together finally after 30 years. He pretty much destroyed her career. She was a Juilliard grad. I mean, was up on Broadway, the whole nine. She had a great career going. Destroyed her career, destroyed everything, that she could have imagined. But he allowed her to express her frustration, to share, to call him out on it, and say, because leading up to that, they will be nasty, nasty, nasty to each other. But then he finally allowed her to really just say what was going on. And then he apologized to her, and she even apologized back to him. And when you talk about love restores,
Hmm.
you have to come to
Hmm.
this place where you can like literally allow a person to just go through their process, allow them
Hmm.
to just, if they need to vent respectfully, let them do that. Let them go through that process. You don't defend yourself. And what he didn't do, which I love, was he didn't defend himself. He allowed her to just say everything that she needed to say. He didn't make an excuse for it or anything until she
Hmm.
finally got everything out. and then they were able to come to a place of restoration. And that's what love does. Love, like you said, does allow you to restore.
Yeah. And I
Mm.
think that when people really, really, um, you can't hold things in your heart and have perfect love.
Mhm.
Um, oh, Apostle Ali said, Prophet
James
Ali
4
said,
and 5.
let's look at James 4 and 5 in the Amplified.
You're pulling it up? Or I could.
Yes, let me get that up privately. That's it, James 4 and 5. Okay. Whoop. So, keep talking, somebody.
Oh, so while you're pulling that scripture up, I mean, I'm sure how many of you guys that are watching have situations where, you know, there was somebody that you may have had issues with, and you had to come to a place of forgiveness with them. You had to come to a place of releasing them and just loving them. If you don't mind, just you could say yes. You can go into details if you choose to. Let us know how you overcame that. But how did you get over, you know, walking in unforgiveness and releasing people? Terry, you got any situations like that where you had to do it?
Um, at work one time I did, yes. And I had to. That person came to me and apologized for the way they acted or whatever, and I had to forgive them and move on.
Yeah,
So,
that's that. I
We
had
worked
to.
together.
Yeah, which is hard.
Hmm.
Just going in and have to see this person and know you can't stand them
Yeah. Yeah,
because of
and I
whatever.
wasn't look, and I wasn't speaking to them. And that was so crazy. I looked them dead in their face and still went over.
That's real though.
so when
How
we
did
look
you get
at,
past it? Tara, how did you get past it?
It took a while. It took a minute. It took a minute. And like I said, they finally came to me because I didn't start it. So I didn't feel the need to apologize because I didn't start it. That person started it and they came and apologized and asked me to forgive them. And although I didn't want to, but I did.
That's so good.
yeah,
We we have some comments, Mom, if you're gonna,
okay, let's go.
and then you read the scripture. So Natalia, she said, "Thank you so much. This is so real and true. This helps me as well." Brianna said, "I just simply walked away, but then I came back and realized that I could be the bigger person because I have to work with them." That's good. Did you find the scripture, Mom?
Yeah, the one that I was reading, okay, so this one, it says that you people are not faithful to God, and you should know that loving what the world has is the same as hating God. So anyone who wants to be friends with this evil world becomes God. So do you think that the scripture means nothing? And the scripture says that the Spirit of God made us to live and want us only. So, but 6 says, but the kindness of God shows is greater. As the scriptures say, God is against the proud, but he gives kind to the humble. So give yourselves to God and stand against the devil. Yeah.
I could give just an example, you know, for me having to walk in forgiveness. And it's a personal example just in my marriage early on, where I remember, I mean, literally hating my husband. It was just that bad. We just did not get along. And we just had issues. I mean, it was, I felt like he was mean. I'm sure he probably felt the same way about me, although I don't know if I was mean. I just maybe, but we were just not good towards each other. And I remember we were going to this marriage retreat. I think we were up coming up. We've been married going on 28 years now, but this was when it was about that 10-year mark. And I remember we were going to a marriage retreat, and it was like we had an encounter on the way to the marriage retreat, to where we were apologizing to each other. We were crying in the car, driving. We had like a 3 hour
Oh,
drive.
good.
And it was like we
Mhm.
had our own little breakthrough where we started talking. We started sharing what was
That's
going on.
love.
I shared with him what I was dealing with. He was sharing with him what he was dealing with. And it was like we had our own breakthrough before we even got we were free when we got to the marriage retreat, so that was just like a honeymoon at that point,
Yeah.
but it was truly that communication had to happen and
Mhm.
forgiveness had to take place. We literally made a decision to forgive one another. And I think a lot of even just couples or just people in general, just with relationships,
Mhm.
until that communication takes
Anybody.
place, anybody,
Mhm.
somebody's got to break down and say, I'm going to talk and we're going to deal with this. And if
That's
it
it.
doesn't happen, then you will never come to a place of true forgiveness. But when
Mhm.
someone, I mean, obviously there's some people, they're not going to break free. They just want to stay bound. And you let those people just move until they finally come to that place. But when you really just make a decision and you just say, we're going to come together and we talk about it, we're going to deal with it. That's when true
Right.
forgiveness happens. That's when that love kicks
Mhm.
in. That's when that bond just, gets
So
tighter than
love
it's
is
ever been.
about communication.
It
You
Communication.
is.
got to be able to communicate in order to really love, someone, especially even friendships, relationships, or what have you. To keep love and love abounds, that you gotta communicate. Because if something happened, I need to be able to share that, and
Right.
then it's gone. We've forgiven and
Mhm.
we moved on.
And move
But
on.
you can
Mhm.
you can talk, but if you don't ever exercise the love in your heart to forgive, it will never happen. And let's go back to what I also like, something about perfect love casts out all fear.
Mhm.
When we have that perfect love, you don't fear who it is that you need to talk to. You should be able to talk
Right.
with them and just share. And that's what I love to do more than anything. Let's talk about it. I'm not always right. We can't straighten everybody out. I think I put that on my Facebook. We got to put us here to straighten everybody out. We can't. We can
Right.
have our differences and just keep it moving and no
Mhm.
love lost. We can
Right.
continue to love. And that's what it's all about. If we can understand that, then we can have better relationships, friendships, and all kind of relationships, because there we understand. And I think that to me is a part of maturity and growing,
Mhm.
because a lot of people
Exactly.
never experience what love really looked like in their own homes. So a lot of children have not really
Mm.
felt real love. And then they grow up as adults putting up this guard, even when someone wants to love them. And only God can break through that.
Mhm.
But it's
Mm.
interesting because children, even as young, they can sense when somebody really genuinely loves them and care about them,
Right.
and they
Mhm.
don't. That's
Mhm.
something about that. And,
Mhm.
even a dog know when somebody
Even
care
that you, I
or
was
they
about to
don't.
say, yep, they sure do.
Oh, that's
A
so true.
dog knows that. So what about us? What about us?
Exactly.
you know. And one of the things is you can try it, but you cannot fake love. You can try it,
Mm-mm.
but you can't fake love. Okay?
Mm-mm.
it
Mm-mm.
it always shows up, almost like the silly rabbit. The children always knew he disguised himself, or it is, but then something always give way. The ear would pop up, or the tail would kick out, and the children
Mm-hmm.
would know that's the silly
The
rabbit who
rabbit.
tried to
Mm-hmm.
disguise us.
Right.
So
Trick
that's the
the
same way
kid.
it is with fake love.
Mm.
How about
Fake
that?
love. Woo.
So,
That's a powerful one right there. Fake
Yep.
love.
Fake
yeah,
love.
Wow.
yeah. If you love
That's so
me,
true.
if we love each other, somebody said, I think on somebody's Facebook page, and I saw that, then call me, or send me a text, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. We care. We really, really, and you, we're friends. And we love each other. All of us, all of us. And sometimes we forget and we don't. And I think it gets back to Shawana said, you know, when you got genuinely love and you have friends, you may not talk to each other maybe for a year, but when you get together, man, you just catch up and it's just like you've been with each other all year
The whole
long.
time.
And that's a great, you know, a sense of love. So
Yeah.
what is somebody
Yeah,
saying?
Valentine's. Yeah, to me, Valentine's Day is more than just, you know, couples and girlfriend and all that stuff. I mean, it's truly just a
It's about
holiday.
everybody.
It's about everybody. It's a holiday
Yeah,
of love and
yeah,
extending
it
love,
really
you
is.
know, to people because some people may not get anybody to acknowledge them even on this holiday. But imagine if we all, even before we go to bed,
Right.
you know, send out a mass, you know, text of, you know, happy Valentine's Day to different people or pick up the phone and call somebody that you hadn't talked to in a minute and just say, I love you. I mean, to me, that's what this holiday is all about. It's not just the candy and the flowers and all that stuff, but it's just
Right,
that
right.
just a simple connection of a phone call or a text message or an email, whatever it takes, just communicate with somebody today.
So I'm going to ask this, and maybe somebody in the chat and find out. One of my great things is that there was a song, and it's a Christian song, and this guy wrote this song. It's so beautiful, and then another artist kind of took it, but it's one of my favorite songs about love, and it is by I'm not, oh, okay. So do I need to say the
Well,
song or
you want
should I
everybody,
say the
you're
artist?
supposed to tell the title and then they're supposed to tell you the name of the song.
Title. Falling in love with
Oh.
Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus. Who did that?
Who
See,
sings Falling in Love with Jesus?
who did that? Anybody can tell me who did that? That is one of the most beautiful songs.
It
It's the
is.
Put it in
best
the chat
thing.
if you know who sings it, Falling in Love with Jesus.
Who knows?
And it's not the Kirk Whalum
I see
version.
Keisha. She gonna look it up. Keisha, I see you. Look it up, Keisha. Amen.
While
So,
we
but that's
wait
a
on
beautiful.
responses, I
I
mean,
like Kurt
Mom, I
Whalum.
think it goes back to the, you know, with love, and it goes back to legacy. So when people think about you or all of us, you know, what do they think about, you know, when they think about you? Do they feel love or do they, do they think about love? Do they think that that you're someone that they can, that really genuinely love them? You know, it's like if when leaving a legacy, is what are people saying about you when you're gone? I think is the question that we could all ask ourselves.
Yeah, that is good.
Right.
Somebody,
Exactly.
we got some
We
comments
got
if you
some
read
comments.
those.
Hey Tina. So Tina said it's the best thing I've ever done. Oh, she's singing a song.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Natalia, she says, I have been in an 11-year relationship and we have been through so much. And I am trying to learn how to forgive. I tend to hold on to things, especially when I have been hurt. What do I need? Hold on, sorry. What what do I need to do? How do I go about getting over these things?
Mm,
And Julia said, hello, Alice and all. So mom, Natalia says she's been in this 11-year relationship and it's been tough basically. And she's got to
yeah.
learn how to forgive and get over some stuff. What can she do to get over the hurt? What can she do basically to help herself
Well,
in this?
you know, and just really thinking about that, and I tell you, you know, the long relationship and then another divorcing. But what happened is that what you can, and what when I hindsight, I look back, what is it that I could have done? That could have, you know, helped in the relationship. I had to look within myself and see if I was perfect, because I always tend to, and I think, and I did, you know, not just saying it, but kind of felt like you were perfect all the time and I was right all the time. And I wasn't. But the thing that I would say is that only God can help us with that healing process when it comes to forgiving and really letting things go. Because Jesus let everything go about us.
Right.
And we have to let things go because sometimes we want people to be like us. I know me. I want people to be the way I want them. I used to want people to be the way I think they ought to be, but I have to, allow God to process them. In the meantime, ask God to process you, to give you the heart
Mm-hmm.
of
Mhm.
God. I need the
Mhm.
heart of Jesus so that I can forgive, but not only forgive, but to forget. Because sometimes if you got a sore and then it gets a scab, and when that scab gets hit, it gets red again. And that tends to cause us to go back to where we were in terms of the reason why I feel the way I feel, the reason why I do what I do. But what we have to do is that we have to ensure that our heart is healed and that we can forgive. Even if we don't like it, we have to pray for the other person. That's the best way I can do it, is that internalize, and look at what it is that I need to do so that I can help who it is, my husband that I'm with. Forgive, forgive, forgive. You cannot
And
forgive
sometimes,
enough.
and
And,
sometimes
and
to add, oh, go ahead, Terry.
Brianna
I
said
was gonna
Jonathan
say
Butler. You were right, Brianna. Thank you.
also, I was gonna say, if you don't forgive, but who are we not to forgive? Because then Jesus won't forgive us. I mean, Jesus forgives us, then you have to forgive as well. And then also, the past is the past. You have to
Wow.
leave the past in the past. You can't
Wow.
bring the past to the future or to the present. You have to leave the past in the past and
Yeah.
go forward and move forward, because you can't if you don't.
And you
And
can't
then
keep
to add,
washing a person's face with their wrong.
yeah,
That is not forgiveness. We can't keep bringing up the past, as Terry said. Can't keep washing the face, keep holding that before them as if we're the judge, because we're not. So just
to add
love,
to
just
that,
be a lovely person.
I
But
want to add to that. I think one thing that you could also do is sometimes many times, I can't even say sometimes, but many times it helps to have, a couple that you're accountable to, or
Yes,
someone that,
accountability.
some
mhm,
accountability partner, someone that you trust,
Yes,
someone that you trust to be able to speak into you. They're not going to lead you going down the wrong path. Because when you have that, they will call you out on something that maybe it is something that you may have said or done that you could have done differently or said differently, to your
that's
significant
so
other.
good that
So
she
I think
brought that up.
yeah, I think it's
mhm,
important to
So
have
good.
that and not be in this bubble all by yourself.
Yeah,
Relationships, we thrive when we also have other relationships that are coming alongside us.
so good.
Especially when you know that they're going in the same direction that you're
Yes,
going,
mhm.
then you tend to thrive because they're not going to judge you. They're going to be there to just support you and
exactly.
encourage you, give you words of wisdom. They're not going to say, "Oh, you need to just leave him" and all this other stuff.
No,
Mhm.
don't do
And maybe
that.
maybe you might be in a
Mhm.
situation, maybe you need to leave. We don't know what your
Yeah,
history is, but just
Right.
based on in general, have a couple, an accountability couple that you could come alongside or that'll come alongside you, that'll pray with you, for you, that'll be
yeah.
right there with you, to give you words of encouragement and wisdom.
And
So that's what
anytime
I
in a
encourage
relationship, I'm gonna let you read some of those because it's a lot of them. But in a relationship, unless it's abusive, because remember we said love doesn't hurt.
Mhm.
Love doesn't hurt us physically or what have you.
yeah,
Then that's not love. We just need to know that that's not love. That I'm being hurt or abused. And that's
and
another.
if
We
it's
got a
to keep
topic
getting
that's going to come up on that really
yeah,
soon, and we're excited about it. But I say to you, Nadia, that if you've been in a relationship for 11 years, continue to pray. And then, as Shawana said, ask God to give you an accountability couple, a couple that you may can trust and that especially someone that you can talk to and you can bounce things off. Because a lot of times, if we don't have anyone that we can talk to that would kind of help us through the process,
Mhm.
then that makes it difficult. But when we got someone that we can really talk to, we can be transparent, we can share, and then they can help us to process through that. I
and
hope
if you
that
need to
helped.
get counseling, they have
Yeah,
Christian counselors or just professional
Mhm.
counselors.
Yes.
So if y'all are willing to do that, then go through that step. If this is a relationship that's worth saving, then
Yeah.
you'll do all the different things that you need to do to, to get on the right track. So we got some
And I
comments.
will say this though, Don Tyus have the healing room. Remember, I mean the healing lounge.
Mhm.
She would be really great. You can just log in on hers, just helping women through that. So that might help. Okay, go
So
Shwan.
Tina, she said, love is one of the three most powerful resources we have every day. Love, prayer, and forgiveness. Tina, that's so good. That's powerful. Natalia, she said, to me, love don't hurt. When you love
Right.
somebody, love them, and it's straight from the heart, it's everlasting. It's
Yeah.
a ride or die, it's a boo thing. Completely agree. Although sometimes, Natalia, you may find yourself in a situation where someone that you truly love and they love you may do a dumb thing, and it hurt. And
Yeah.
what you have to do is find forgiveness in your heart, for them.
Forgiveness is the
Uh,
key.
that is it is the key. And if you love them, you will find forgiveness for them.
Yeah.
And you won't hold
Mhm.
them hostage for that stupid mistake or stupid word or whatever that they may have done. Don't write them off so quick. Love don't write people off. It goes through to the end. Julia said, I feel love from Alice at all times. I feel like extended
Mhm.
family.
Hey,
Brianna got
Julia.
it right. She said,
Evangelist.
Jonathan Butler.
Yes.
Julia said, yes, agape love is what we need to ask Jesus to heal us. And she said,
Right.
forgiveness is important.
Unconditional.
Yep.
That's
And
so
then
good.
Tina, she wrote something powerful. She said, we've been married 24 years with peaks and valleys. The valley experiences were more about my spiritual growth, a
Woo.
season of strengthening. I had to listen to the voice of God and soak. Sorry, let me pull that up.
She said, I had to listen to the growth, God, a season of
Yeah.
strengthening, and
And
I had to
yeah,
listen to his voice
and
and
soak.
soak in praise and worship.
Yeah, so good, Tina. And
Mhm.
That is
girl,
so good.
I'm with you on that. When I go through
Soak
those
in
dry
praise
times,
and worship.
I praise and worship is always like peaks and valleys. That praise and worship is in there, but the praise and worship is what get me out of those valleys quicker. I'm with you, Tina.
So when you think about it, love is peaks and valleys. That's good. I love that. In relationships, there be all relationships are just a perfect. Listen, there's no perfect relationship. Why? Because there are no perfect people. We are imperfect, but we're striving. So with that, we make mistakes. But
Mhm.
again, we need people to walk along beside us and help us and give us some nuggets, and then we are able to grow. A lot of times we may not see it right then, but we're able to grow in our love. We're growing in love every day. We'll continue to grow in love as long as we live on this earth. We'll continuously growing in love. Our love will be challenged. Our love will be tried.
Mhm.
But it's up to us to be intentional about our love. That's the key takeaway is to be intentional and be intentional about our unconditional love for one another, a love for our mate, a love for our friends, unconditional
Mhm.
love. Why? Because
Exactly.
unconditional love is extended to us. Why? Because God so loved the world. And that's why we got to love, because he loved enough to send his son. He loved enough to send his son. And his son loved us enough to die for us. And that's why we have to love. And I always remember this is that when we can't forgive, then God won't forgive us. Because that's why he sent his son. So we're obligated to forgive. And forgiveness is a part of that love growth as we forgive. I know it hurts. But you don't want to be reminded of you didn't forgive. And we did forgive. So love is forgiving. And we just love that. This has been a love time. This has been a real love talk. And I love it. Love is the essence of our life so that we can show love Now, have I always been this way? No. I didn't understand love, didn't know a lot of, I just understood from what I grew up with. I knew that my mom loved me. My father was dead, but I knew that my mom loved me. But in terms of, building those solid relationships until I came into a relationship with the Lord. And then even after that, I still have to grow. And I'm still growing in my love and my love walk. So it's a love walk. We got to walk it out. We're talking today. You got to walk this thing out. It is something that you're going to have to walk out. And that's kind of what you would call launching into the deep, because that's deep water there, is to be able to love someone who's unlovable. And I've had to do that on jobs. I've had to do that, in relationship. Just love. Just be the love person. Be the love person. Yes. So people should be able to feel, I think Julia mentioned it, you should be able to feel that love radiating from people until it feels like family. Yeah. And we love you. We love you because you're supporting. Let's talk about it. And the great conversations that have come out of it. What's love got to do with it? It's got everything to do with it.
Yes, it does.
Comes from the heart. That's what love is. Amen. And
do we have any closing comments? Terry, you want to say something? Mom, you want to say something and close this out? Teresa say, she said, put your shoes on.
And walk it out.
Put your shoes on and walk in love.
Walk it out. Walk it out.
That's right. Yeah, that was a good message this morning from Apostle Derek Flanagan. He said, put your shoes on. Putting your shoes on, you're going to have to put your shoes on and walk in love. Like you're going somewhere. That's right. So that's a good one. Look at Brianna. I love you guys. We love you. We love you. Thank you all so much for supporting, joining in with Let's Talk About It. We want to continue our conversations. I hope this has been really, really good. I hope that you've enjoyed it. We've talked about Valentine and what that really means. It just means love. That's all. If that's a day that's just been dedicated to loving, let's love. But you know what? Through COVID and through all of this, you need to love. We need each other. That's the takeaway. We really need each other. So, I love you, and we all love you. And we say love, peace, and increase to everyone.
Amen.
Yeah, I'll give you some last comments. Tina says, use sweet lips when we're faced with this giant in our lives. So,
wow.
You're absolutely right, because you'll be faced with them every single day. But when you make a decision to love, then, you could face any giant, that comes up in your life, or God will partner you up with somebody, link you up to be that strength for you during that time as you're going through. So I just
how important is it to be linked up with someone, that loves you and you really love them? That is really, really key. You said that was.
So what are we talking about next week?
So next week we've got is that next week?
Yes, next Sunday.
Is that Dr. Michelle is on next week?
Michelle.
She's on the last week. I think is that the last week? No, she's on the last week, I believe.
21st.
Next week is 21st.
Next week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
So we're going to be talking about heart health, but just go so much further than that. We also will we're continuing with Black History this week. So we had a chance to talk about those women, Tina Turner, who's leaving a legacy. I believe a legacy is her legs, right? And then we're talking about Diana Ross.
Diana Ross
leaving a legacy. But let me tell you, the Bible says long life will satisfy you. And that's what we want. And I believe if that heart is clean, we'll have a long life. Let that heart out so you can have a long life. And remember, Mary Wilson died this week, but also a legacy of Dr. Frederick Price, who went on to glory this week as well, who was a general, and that is legacy. He's leaving a powerful legacy out in California. I had the awesome opportunity to go to his dome, his church out in California. And
Yeah, we grew up
so,
listening to him all the time.
yes, so keep
Mhm.
that family lifted up in prayer as well. And the topic next week is going to be about heart health, how we just, as African Americans, but not only African Americans, but just all of us need to take
People in
care of our
general.
heart, and there's a way to do
We
that.
do.
So we'd like for
We
you
have
to
a
join in.
cardiologist will be on live with us on next Sunday, Dr. Michelle Webb. So we encourage you guys to come with your questions. You can actually go to Let's Talk About It to our Facebook page if you have not liked it. We encourage you to go to Let's Talk About It with
subscribe.
Alice. Subscribe to our page so that you can be notified whenever we go live or if we're posting things. We just launched that. So we encourage you to like and share and encourage other people, let them know that we're going to be talking about heart health on next Sunday. And I'm sure you may have gone through it or experienced something, or you know someone that has had something dealing with cardiovascular issues. And we have an actual cardiologist that will be on with us talking next Sunday. So we can't wait to have that conversation.
So we're excited about that. And we try to bring, and listen, if you have any topics that you would love for Let's Talk About It to talk about, we will do it. Just, put it in the comments, put in our comments, go to Let's Talk About It, Facebook page, whatever, and just put it in. And that way we'll be able to talk about it. Because I just think it's for all of us, and it's just life conversations, just being able to encourage each other, challenge each other, and to give good information that you can thrive in this time that we're living in. That's what Let's Talk About It is all about. It's all about life conversation. Thank you all for joining in. We're so excited. We know that this is all about family. It's all about fun. It's all about excitement. And just know that music soothes you. Really, it really does. It helps the heart too, Also, it helps the mind. So we say to you, love.
Peace.
One is love, peace. I'm peace, and Terry is increase. All right.
Love, I'm like, what?
Love, peace, and increase. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Yes,
While you enjoy your Valentine's.
Love
All
y'all.
right.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So you're frozen up there. You're froze.
Awesome.
Is that it? You cut it?
So,
Lori joined in. Thank you, Tina. All the love. Thank you, ladies. Pastor Dominique Hunter, he joined in. Evangelist Julia Bentley. Prophet Ali. Thank you for the men and women of God joining in. Apostle Flanagan. Thank you. We still there, Shawana?
if you just keep telling everybody, thank you.